Woo! Hey guys, Words Like Wildfire here.
Whoa. So I'm stoked to have Words Like Wildfire here. Just in case you don't know, they've opened for Secrets, they've opened for Silent Planet, Picturesque, 1,000 Belows, they've even opened for Warped Tour. They're actually opening, I just want to get this out right at the beginning, on the 14th at the Hard Luck Bar for Secrets again. It's going to be sweet. That's in Toronto. If you're close, if you're in the GTA, if you're hearing this now, I highly recommend it. I think it was something like $18 at the door. Like super cheap. Love it. Okay, welcome. You guys have to know why you're in the room first. You're on the particular day for a particular reason. I was talking to Dom, listen, why do we want to have these cats? What's different about them? And he said, and I quote, they're going to do it. Like, that was his words. He was like, they are going to do it. Dude, I love that. And it had less, I was like, was it their music ability or was it something else? Because that's what I'm interested in. And he said, it was something else. He's like, well, what was it? He said they'd known you for a long time, and no matter what doors were closed, same thing. You climbed out the window, you went through that, you just took the next step you needed to take, and he believes in that in you guys, which I love. So welcome to the show. Thank you. Let's crush. Let's get into this. I'm stoked. Okay, I gotta start with this because I'm really confused about it. What's the deal with your lighting rig? Like, I want to know. You have a special thing with the lighting rig.
Yeah. So we just basically took a deep dive into the world of DMX.
Okay.
X will give it to you. Basically, I had this crazy idea after watching band after band on Instagram videos, and these were even bands that like I love and respect, look super boring on stage. Whether it be they're a technically proficient band, where I can't be jumping around while I tap sweep, I get it. Or whether you're a band who's just playing, some easycore stuff, if you're not moving, like no one cares because you're standing still on stage. It's like, where's the show? So you're in production. It's like, you want to know why Drake gets $500,000 to $1 million for a show? Because he rolls with a production and his name and everything that comes with that, right?
Look at that
Beyonce
like, documentary. It's like a cast of thousands.
Exactly.
Like, I can listen to that record home alone and hear the same thing, but I want to go see that. I want to go pay for that.
Jay Smith had Tesla come down. That was pretty cool.
Exactly, right? I watched Drake suspend on wires over Molson at OVO Fest that I got to go to for free.
Whoa.
Those kind of theatrics really make a show. And so basically I created like this really crazy long pitch to the guys.
A dissertation.
Literally, it was like, okay, step.
Was it like a PowerPoint?
Bro, it had like step B, part 2. Like dash or like acquire this.
It was a thesis with
like straight like I was getting my PhD.
We were drawing pictures and stuff.
So you were committed.
Yeah, I was like, this is happening, right? So pitched it to the guys, and it was a little bit of struggle because it's expensive. It ain't cheap. But the thing is about us that we're gonna spend the money on something anyways, and we've spent money on other bands that we've been in the past.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many times are you angry about that video that you were in 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, you don't care about that money that you spent, right? You care about what it did for you.
Yeah, man.
Like, after we put out that video.
Not you care about what you didn't spend. You have that video where it's like, I wish we, put that extra time.
Straight up.
I wish we spent that extra time in pre-pro. I wish we storyboarded that out a bit better and did all that stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's, it's like I would have spent the extra $100 to not regret it 10 years later. To not look at
you don't always know that's how it's going to. But that's the big thing, is that it's like a self-evaluation key over time. You're just because now you're forming a best creation in the end. Once you've reached this with the.
You almost got to believe in what you wanted to do, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because there was a whole bunch of points where I was just like, oh my god, we need to spend another many hundreds of dollars, sort of thing.
And it basically, so like after like pitching and like. Once we acquired the first round of lights, this guy Ian, honestly, like he took it over because I was planning on just being like, I'll take care of this. This is my grand plan, and like I'll do this and like whatever. So and then it got down to the wire, and what I was programming, what I was using was just so much more complicated. And I had just by chance shown Ian a program that was like, hey man, this works with that DJ thing that
this
you're
works with Serato.
This works with Serato. Like, hey man, you should like look into this. It would be like an extra thing.
He picked it up. He kind of like figured it out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, he's doing social media. He's doing marketing. He's doing booking. He's doing advertisements. And I'm like, you know what? He showed me this this thing called Sound Switch. And it's basically a DMX interface that works with the DJ software Serato. and he by chance showed it to me.
Which sidebar you have experience doing because you're someone who DJ,
Yeah.
just for those that don't know.
Really
Well, we don't talk about that.
We're not going to get into that.
So once we started getting into doing all this stuff, we were like, okay, we can actually do this because the hardware. It ended up being like $650.
Yeah.
But I ended up finding one used for like $175.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
This dude sat on Amazon, like watching the countdown. Like, I can't let this window go.
Yeah, that's the other one tip though. Like if you want a piece of expensive gear, there's somebody who doesn't.
Yeah, not selling half price or
Okay,
whatever, right?
or I would like to add to that, I put myself through Metalworks, myself
yeah.
through Metalworks by trading, man. So
Straight up,
Dude,
Trade Kings, Pawn Kings, those guys.
I just used Kijiji, man.
Yeah.
And what I did was I bought a book, is the Gibson Book of Guitar Values, and then I would I'd buy $200 and I'll buy your $400 guitar because someone, like you said, wants to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But then I'll put for sale or trade. Someone offers me like $100 lowball or a $700 Gibson. Hell yeah, I'll trade it.
Yes, yeah.
Yo, and it doesn't even need to be that. It could be literally like I don't know if you or anybody subscribes to the Gospel of Gary Vee. But it's
Yeah.
the notion of yard selling. You literally can go buy a box of crap for $10 and then sell it piece by piece. If you're willing, exactly like you said, if you're willing to do that work, if you're willing to do the
Yard
dirt,
selling.
go literally get something under your fingernails for a little while.
Because that's straight up how we found our lights. Everything was like used. Like one of the dudes, he was a lighting director, and he was like, some guy left these lights at our venue. We messaged everybody, every contact in the last month or so since they were left there. No one, not mine. So they're yours for this much.
Man, that's
Cool,
awesome.
thank you.
I love that you guys brought up Gary Vee. I want to talk to you about that later. I
Yeah.
also love that you said quickly, aside from music, that Avery was also picking up the social media, the marketing, the booking, the advertising,
Yeah.
and then the lighting and the video stuff. And then that shows such a ridiculous work ethic, and I love that because it is a separator, man. Like not only can we play the chops, but we have all these other things that we're willing to do. Like people recognize that, man. I love that. Dude.
all those abilities you have under your belt that now you don't need to outsource for because you know how to do that.
And you can be in control, right?
And that's the biggest thing is like not having to outsource. The most successful bands I find are the ones who have like if you look at Periphery.
Yeah.
Misha and Nolly and like just all of them like they all have their separate thing that even now like they've made into their own separate companies, which as a musician having a separate source of income from your music is the most massive thing. I went out and I'm the biggest advocate for this, but go to YouTube University. If you want to learn anything, there is a tutorial to show you it on YouTube.
Really?
And I learned how to use the Adobe Creative Suite on YouTube.
It's like you don't totally need to pay to go to school to learn some program.
No, there's a tutorial all online. Some guy will show you step by step. You pull up the program you need and do exactly as he does or she does or they do.
I want to pull this back like 16 seconds. You said in Periphery, they each have their own niche where they make like a separate income.
Yes.
Do you know what they're doing? Like you mentioned YouTube.
Well, Misha has pedals. He has all the the noise reduction. He has his own plugins. Nolly has his own the Get Good drums now, like the modern and massive Get Good drums, which like a ton of people are swearing by.
Really?
Even guys Joey Sturgis, he was a guy who recorded for bands and for labels, but now he's like, well, you want the Joey Sturgis tone?
Yeah.
Here's gain reduction, which everybody uses. Everybody uses that Joey Sturgis gain reduction now. Like studio to studio, home, everybody's got that plugin. Like Melodyne had to start somewhere. Autotune started somewhere.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. So it's like you create even how many artists do we know have clothing lines?
Right.
That's like the move. Get big, create a clothing line. I'm doing it.
No, that's true. Hobson's got it as well. That undercover Prodigy.
Well, it's like the same thing.
Merch is huge.
When you look over at Bring Me the Horizon, where it's like I'm sure there's lots of people that wear their clothing line that have no idea it's a band behind it.
Yeah.
They have stores.
It's just what they like.
They have stores in the UK actually.
Really? Well, it fits their look, and it just so happens if you like that look, you probably like their music too.
Yeah.
But there's just as good a chance you don't know either one is related.
You just think it's a cool thing on a shoot.
Well, even as you were saying,
Reallocated.
with the work ethic and doing everything else, and we were saying before air, like we pride ourselves on being able to stay out of each other's way, but still be a team. Where it's like, you're doing 86 million things at once, but it's like, yo, man, post this. Like I have to program a thing. Here's the 40 tags. Here's the whatever. Yeah, man, I got you, no problem. Because I work at the mall opposite hours. He works at the same mall, and this guy was a bartender, so he's up at 1,000,000 o'clock in the morning.
I love that life.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' roles? How did you split it up? Who takes what, and what else gets done beyond music? Like, let's have that conversation. What do you guys do?
Like in terms of content, everything.
Yeah, like let's talk, because the one huge miscommunication that I see with artists who are like, dude, I just want to noodle on this guitar. It's like, that's cool, but there's also so many things that you are probably pretty good at that would add value to a band that isn't that. So what do you guys do aside from it? So we already talked about social media, we talked about marketing, we talked about ads, we talked about merch. Like,
Well, something I like to do on my own because I can is cover videos. Like, I basically audio treated my closet, ran some XLR cables underneath the door, stuck a whole bunch of GoPros to the wall, and boom, you can be banging out cover videos
every day.
Every day if you want to.
If you have the time to,
Because like that's something I can easily do on my own, bounce over to Avery, then Avery uploads it or whatever, and then boom, everyone's still doing stuff. So
And anything
Teamwork
I'm gonna
makes
add, I
the
don't
work.
need a closet for. I can just DI it. So it's like, oh,
Exactly.
you want this? Here you go.
bass is like that, man.
Bass.
Bass is nice. Bass is nice.
See, that's the
that
thing
far.
is like some people don't like really get like what you said with the guy noodling. I just want to noodle on the guitar. Is if you want to be in a band, you want to be in a successful band, you have to realize it's not just about the music; it's the music industry. Like the second part of that, it's an industry. So there is so many other aspects of basically. There's so many other aspects of basically being in a band, and it's like you need to have a presence online. You need to have. You need to have somebody like people taking care of the music, people taking care of the show, the actual stage production, because that's where we've all teamed up with the lights. But basically, it went from my head, then to Ian programming it, and then to AJ actually setting it up.
Well, it's because I've got the live and on-camera production experience, where it's like, and we've both been through theater schools and stuff like that, so we have, kind of the lingo, kind of the stage left, stage right, this and that. It's like I physically moved grip stands and swung that wrench and done whatever, so it's like, cool, let me do it. You have a drum set.
you know how
You have
those
room
chords
or something.
sound.
I love how excited you guys all are to help each other.
Yeah.
It's something that I didn't
sometimes
catch
too
until right
much, where we get too much of each other's trials.
My favorite thing.
Let me help you.
My favorite thing is watching you two argue with each other about literally are trying to do the same thing. Exactly the same way,
That's
just
awesome.
in the
I literally took
opposite
something
direction.
apart that you put together and put it
so
back
funny.
together, just the opposite direction,
And I'm like,
to the left,
that's the
and not to the
exact
right.
same way. And he's like, no, but this is on this side.
And then,
I'm like,
halfway through, I stopped and I'm like, it's the same thing. I just didn't want to do that.
You plugged it in the other outlet.
well, yeah,
That's all.
you were like,
Literally the only difference.
you're like, this is really messy. There's too many cables. I'm like, you gotta have a cable somewhere. So,
Power is not wireless.
Yeah.
It's sort of better.
DMX is wireless.
So,
Power is
was it a pain in the butt to figure out the lighting thing in the first place? Was
Yes,
it a pain in the ass?
huge pain in the
Yeah.
ass.
Well, it wasn't a pain in the ass to figure out whether it could work. We knew it could work, but
Yeah.
whether it was worth. The thing is, we knew we'd have to spend some money, and we
Worth the
knew it would be
cost.
worth. Well, and we knew it would be difficult to pull off to the point where it wasn't cringy. It's like, cool, you slapped a bunch of lights in
On
front
your
of
drum.
you,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
flash randomly. It's like, no. We have a click track, so let's program it to the click track.
Yeah.
We have ATA cases that are the same size, the same shape every day, so like let's attach them to these. That was a bit of a pain trying to figure out where everything fit. We knew we could, but whether it was worth doing it to the point where we're going to be proud to show somebody,
Was it worth
that
it?
was hard.
Was it worth it?
I don't know.
Hell
We don't know
yeah.
yet.
We don't know
In
yet.
my opinion, hell yeah.
How long have you been playing with it? With
We'll
the light?
see. We'll see on the 14th, the first time in front of anybody but us.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
new. It's
Yeah.
that new.
It's that new.
See, I can
Premiering
see
it.
that kind of a thing becoming a thing for a band. Like, yo, this is the band with the really dope light show, and not a whole lot of other bands are doing that, man.
Yeah, exactly. They're not investing in the show. They're just kind of showing up to do the
Yeah,
show.
exactly.
You
I will
invest in
admit
the
that I
show.
was at first hesitant because I come from, I don't know whether you want to, I don't know if I'm being snooty saying I'm old school, but I was in another band that we had a mindset of no backtrack, no click track. Like if you can't play it live,
Less is
don't-
more?
If you can't play it live, don't. Yeah, I'm a less is more kind of guy.
Less is more. Yeah.
But if you can't play it live, don't play it at all.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the whole light show gimmick thing. And I think that the reason behind that frustration is the bands that had it took bloody forever. Like we were talking about the guys that unscrew one butterfly off their cymbal at a time, and the guys that are coiling their cable ever so. But that was every band that also had light boxes. So it was this real stigma of like, oh, you're that band with the smoke and the lasers and the lights and the ooh,
Oh,
okay.
it's gonna take a long. So there was like other bands didn't like it. That's where
they
you're going
put
with that.
they put more time into looking cool than sounding good. And as we were saying, it's great. You want to sound good and also be entertaining. But if one suffers for the other, you're not doing either.
where are you
in
making
favors.
gains?
You're a musician first. You're
Exactly.
a performer
Yes.
second.
Yes.
Gonna play devil's advocate. People watch their music now, man. Like YouTube, you guys are. By the way, your music on YouTube is awesome. I've watched it. Like I like it. The production, I love it. I don't know who's taking care of the camera stuff or if that's completely other team, but
Stay Gould.
they're doing a heck of a good job. I love that. But people, when they watch that, now it's a matter of like, okay, we better take a heck of a long time to put a lot of effort into what we look like because not the others.
We don't.
I like to say light travels faster than sound. People
Nice.
judge
Nice.
what you look
Nice.
like before what you sound
People
like.
look really smart and then they open their mouths.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why.
That's my problem.
That's why I hang out and let you guys do the talking a lot.
Fair enough.
I do my vocals on stage.
That's the love between the group that makes it work, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like if Avery's good at something, I'm not gonna go try and do it. You know, he's gonna figure it out.
Yeah, like I'm so happy this dude figured out, like, just, it was like, oh no, I'm taking on that light stuff and I'm gonna do the programming. It's like, yeah, like just having that.
To speak to how new this whole light rig DMX system is, I had no clue anything, any information about DMX lighting probably about 3 months ago. Yeah.
Really? So
Yeah.
it's 2019
It's like,
thing.
yeah, that's
Learned it
where
all.
we learned this. Like I stayed up like till 3 a.m. like figuring out how that we
How it
can even
works.
get this running.
Yeah.
And then even still then at a point of like pre-planning, once you get it all in front of you, it's all different. Like I went out and
Yes.
bought this thing, spent $650 on something, and had to return it the next day.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work,
didn't
and I had to
work
order
properly.
it specially and everything. And thank God, Cosmo Music like refunded me my money, gave like no hassle, no
hassles,
problem.
yeah.
I also showed up and like a bunch of my friends were working that day, so I was like, I'm not gonna.
Hi.
Give me my money back,
Money
friend.
back.
Like, it was pretty cool, but
But that's what happens sometimes as well, and it's like a good experience
Yeah.
with that sense, and trying to learn something new, and it just ended up kind of giving.
And then
you getting
applying
screwed
it.
over. Like if I were to not get that money back, I ended up taking that and buying more lights with that cash when I got it back.
Reallocate the
And
funds.
reallocated the funds.
Reallocate the
That
funds.
is-
Yes, that's exactly it.
You guys have a growth mindset, eh? Always.
Absolutely.
So I love that. So it's like a huge thing that I've seen where it's like sometimes people will say, "Oh, well, I just can't play that." Or I'll hear, do you know what I mean?
Yes,
It's that one word, man. It's like
Yeah.
3 months ago for this man not to know what lights would look like, or for you to be up all night. I know it, dude. I just feel like you're grabbing a Red Bull, you're watching this like YouTube University for.
Not even, man. I got bad anxiety, and like I'm a very very big
Orange
like.
Pico, okay.
Yeah, dude, like straight up, I just have anxiety about the things that'll go wrong, right? So for me, it's like I have to sit up and think until I've gotten to a point where like there's not gonna be something that goes down, and so something
You're
that
the
screws
guy
us
that
over.
practices till you can't get it wrong.
Exactly.
Not
So-
till you can get it right.
So for me, it's like it's just part of like my anxiety, and like I'm a very big person of like don't let things like mental illness like or anything like that like bring you down.
Yeah.
Use it as a tool.
If
you stress out and you overthink things, well then any project that you do, overthink every aspect of it, and you'll have everything covered.
Yeah.
And then it'll be picture perfect.
Use yourself, like use what your
Yeah.
brain is not wrong. Your brain is not bad. Your brain is just trained to do something else better.
Yes.
It's like Asperger's syndrome.
My weakness is a weapon, anyways.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like what you've been afraid of. It's like I don't know. Learn to use it. Put a leash on it and stick it on
that
people.
so much. You have no idea. Like within this show, I'm a kid who like I used to get in trouble for talking too much at school. Like I know you. Yeah, all three of you put your hands up at the bands. Like me too, bro. Me too. But if you lean into that, sooner or later you can use it like a tool. All day long, I'm talking to people, whether it's like in the sales job or whether it's with a radio show or whether all these other things.
Now you're getting paid to be a
I literally get to talk to people, but now there's people who prefer not to, who do things that I prefer for sure not to do.
I don't want to touch that next year.
Have some argument team where you can recognize a strength that supplements yours, but also just be happy when somebody wins. Like it's the same thing. It's like I was a drama major. Let's lean on what I did in high school 10 years ago. When I did this and that in stage lighting, whatever. Yeah, 12 years ago, and all that stuff's obsolete. And this guy's learning on a program he already knows. So it's okay. Tell me where you want me to plug what in. Yes, sir. No problem. Because I can do that part. I'm good at that part. The stage managing part, the taping shit down part. Yeah, no problem. You want me to figure out a brand new DAW looking thing?
Yeah, you want to figure out a
AJ, man, that's like
I
me,
play
dude.
bass. I dropped 2 strings 3 years ago for a reason.
Yeah.
Don't give me none of it.
Okay, man, less is more from AJ. Yo, what do we got coming up for week? This was awesome, by the way. Thank you for the first little bit. We're coming back for more of Words Like Wildfire. Catch us soon.
We actually have some words like wildfire. It's a tongue
Every time I say it.
Words like wildfire.
Okay, we got, what is their song? What's the song?
We actually have the survival mechanic.
Yo,
Sick.
look at them. Look at them. Catch us soon. All right, that was a hell of a middle grounds. These cats are making me laugh talking about crazy stuff.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
It got a little off track there. Maybe you'll have to catch us on the DriveWire Beyond social media. You'll see it on YouTube. Yo, I want to get into this. A huge thing that strikes me about your band, again, we've already covered it a little bit, was work ethic. Man, you guys work hard, and I love that. What I have written here is entrepreneur mentality. We talked about like being able to get new skills, like being able to put on a show, and then the work ethic. Like, I really wanted to talk specifically about work. Like, what are some things that you guys do in particular that's beyond? I don't know. Like, I'm finding this question hard to kind of bring up. Like,
Beyond the like
The norm?
the exact like bare minimum of what you need to do to be in a band, which is playing your instrument and playing shows.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I do a lot of social media work.
I'm not sure something
The
even
specifics. So in the social media, what are you looking for? How are you getting out there? Are you like, what's your strategy?
Trying to just stay relevant and stay
consistent, I
Stay
guess.
consistent, like-
we're always doing stuff, and we're always trying to do, like after band practice, yo, let's do a video. Like, we gotta say what we're doing next week, blah, blah, blah. Like, we did a video advertising the May 14 video shoot.
Right on.
Sort of thing, right? You gotta keep telling people what you're up to.
Oh yeah, you guys are shooting a music video at the show, right?
Yes.
Yo, so if you want to be in Words Like Wildfire's next video, show up the 14th, the Hard Luck Bar, right, in Toronto, $18. Get there, just do it. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, it's
Yes.
called social media, right?
Right.
So you want to join the community you want to be a part of. Go and
Yeah,
comment.
no, exactly.
Go like if you want hundreds and thousands of followers, it's like take that time to interact with the few you have now. Like even if it is just your buddy doing, like fire emoji, hand emoji, like cool, like answer the dude.
Shoot him a
like
fingers,
it back,
like,
shoot him a
Yeah.
rock horns, whatever. That take that half a second while you've got it now. Like you're not and will never be too good for that because if you are, you don't have the job you want. Like that's the whole. Like as we were talking about before, with perseverance until it's like the line between perseverance and delusion is razor thin. So as soon as you think like, oh, I got this, and there isn't that perseverance anymore, that's delusion. That's delusion. That's I'm just gonna do what I've been doing and keep doing what I've been doing. It's like, well, no, if you're not progressing forward, it's not working.
Crawford said today is like the thing that I don't want to do because he has a podcast at his house and it's Crawford's House Podcast, shout out. It's awesome. But he's like, dude, as soon as I stopped doing it, because he was talking to me about having a down month in
Yeah, it
April.
took April off kind of deal. You know, we were focused on getting DriveWire up and running. Not that we weren't doing it in March.
But he said when you stop building something, it dies.
Yeah,
And it was
for
like
sure.
this instant, I was like, whoa, that's so true. Like this stopping of things, like, man.
And I felt the brand dying, essentially. You know, it's like I stopped interacting with the people. I stopped giving reminders out to people that I exist. I stopped releasing things. I went solo, or silent, I should say, for a month.
Well, if you can play the
What do you
algorithm
do?
to your advantage, you stay at the top.
How do you do
as
that?
soon as you take? Well, as soon as you take, this is half a smart ass answer and half a real answer. Like if it doesn't fit in a tweet, nobody cares.
120 characters.
So it's basically
Yeah.
well 240 now.
Oh, it's 240 now?
Thankfully. It used to be
Oh, that's
I think it was 140, yeah, and they
It was
doubled
140 and they
it.
doubled it. So
Right on,
280.
280.
I play bass again.
That's better, man.
I can count to
1,
we
2,
just
sometimes
3, 4,
let's leave it.
yeah.
No, but the-
5 P5.
Exactly. We couldn't find P5 exactly, and you were right.
Yeah.
But no, it's a simple. I don't even remember what the point I was trying to make was. What we were talking about.
Consistency. I want to know the algorithms is where we're at.
Yeah.
Do you guys find it hard to post every day? So a huge thing with
Yeah.
music,
That's it. Stay relevant. Yeah,
How
and
do
it's
you
hard
do-
to.
yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to
stay on
stay.
top.
It is hard to post every day. You kind of actually you have to plan it out. You kind of like I'll make posts that you won't see for a month.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm gonna have everything for that next month. like for a whole week.
Or we've got a bunch now, and you're gonna need that later when we don't have a bunch going on. And
Exactly.
that's the thing
I have a
hard to
bunch of
remember.
we have a bunch of shows, so we're gonna have a bunch of photographs from the photographers either we bring out or the ones that we meet along the way.
Yeah.
So they're gonna post them, we're gonna repost them, whatever, do all that game while we're playing shows. So that's what we're doing right now. Then okay, we're home, we're tired, we're resting, we're working like to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what like. It's living regular life, which Instagram and Facebook doesn't want to really see.
That too, and we forget sometimes. It's like we've been working on stuff nonstop, like the light rig, and like working on new songs that like we still have silly working titles too. That like we have to get out of the habit of calling them that because they have real titles and stuff. But like people don't know that because they're not with us every day.
all the,
So
all
like
the pre-work.
the little fun, well, right, but and all those little funny things that we think is like old news. It's like no, this is the first time anybody's heard of it.
Exactly.
This is
Yeah.
the first time anybody's.
Yeah.
So you got to keep in mind to post where you said the normal life that people don't want to see, the boring. It's like, okay, I know you wake up and drink coffee.
And you drink
That's
coffee
what
and you
most
have
people
breakfast.
do. But
But
there's also the parts of people that want to feel like they're connected. They want to feel like they are part of what you do. They want to know they've got, I'm on these guys like close friends list of their story. I've got some insight. And even if it's just as simple as like, hey, this is where the wing nut goes to put my light rig on. You're the only one of 20 people that know that. Those little things are what cultivates those relationships.
Or how we take our
Those-
coffee and tea.
Exactly. Yeah, six sugar, 2 milk. But like you see,
Cream. 6 sugar, 2 cream, please. It's delicious.
If you're gonna go orange
Oh,
pecan
man, it's
with 6
delicious.
sugar, you might as well just have a Red Bull.
Yeah,
No,
like-
oh god, Red Bull's
Dude,
Put
disgusting.
that in a small cup. You
Monster,
essentially fill
if
the
anything.
small cup with sugar and then melt it with the coffee.
That's
base.
so nasty, man. That's
I just want
that's-
sugar flavored tea water.
Yeah,
Okay?
I get it. I get you, man. That's awesome.
That's how you keep the
To get to
trainees
the
honest, though.
specifics
They know
of
if
the-
they-
Man, that's how I stay on time.
Talk to me about booking out. So I've wanted to do this a long time, specifically with DriveWire. And what I love about this is I'm gonna ask you questions, and then I'm gonna do it with this brand, which is awesome. So when you're booking out the month, what does that look like? Are you using particular apps? Are you using how do you actually get that to go?
Well, actually, some like for a while I was using like a few like websites and apps and kind of those like Sonic Bids and like Reverb Nation and stuff. Like there are some gems, like small gems you can find. It's a little bit harder because being here in Canada, like the tours that are big over in the States don't come over here, and then even on those tours
When they do, you
when
get
they do
one
come
date
over.
and only
You
half
get-
the
Yeah,
bands.
and there's no
Toronto. It's
opportunity.
always Toronto.
One thing like I really wish was a thing was that like if a American tour is coming through, like by law I wish that like a Canadian band had to open. But, like
That'd
I
be
wish
awesome.
I wish that would
Yeah,
oh,
we wanna-
if
we
we
wanna
want
play
to build
it.
the GTA and we want like they're saying they want to build Toronto to a music city. That's how you do it.
bring
Bring up
Canadians.
all your locals. Why you put them on a show with Silver there's who's an American band like
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
any big American band coming through.
Like
Put them on with that.
London and
Any of them. Any of them.
Yeah,
London
I
does
like
that
that
really
idea.
well.
London does that
Fans.
really well, and
Yeah.
it's starting. London is starting to take over as
They are, man.
close border town,
Yeah.
close border city
Dude,
that's going to do
Sarnia,
all the
Windsor?
big shows.
Yep.
And it's as a Torontonian making me mad because I moved to Toronto
Closer to it.
from a GTA town to be closer to the shows, to be able to go and to have those shows. And now that they're being out in London, it's like
And that's been
Maybe
been
I should be
quietly-
there.
That's been quietly rumbling for
That's
for
a while.
years,
Yeah, it's
man.
been developing for a
Like,
while.
I
And
was
it's been-
for those of you in the room that remember what Forever Cadence means. Like I remember going there with the previous band I was in, and it's like Western Ontario. Like we were this like little hardcore band from Brampton, and we showed up in Sarnia one night, and the place was freaking full.
Yeah.
It's like who are all these people?
Yeah, so
It's
that's
weird. I
it's
find that with
insane.
Sarnia as well. Sarnia doesn't have a lot of people in it seems, but then you go to shows and they're always
Yeah,
packed.
when those events happen,
Yeah.
people want to go
They
out.
show up.
Well, I miss those all ages, those like legions and orange halls
Yeah.
and moose
Yeah.
lodges,
The Moose
and whatever
Lodge,
that would do
Lodge,
shows.
yeah.
Because
Columbus
well,
Hall.
unfortunately, you do get the jerks that punch a hole in the wall. Or like my hometown venue was called the Calvinese Community Complex.
Yeah.
Say that 10 times fast, but like somebody reorganized the gazebo, like they took off all the railings and threw it out, and that was like the last show. It was terrible. Like I saw
Yeah.
Flatliners there, like I saw Jersey there. Like,
It just takes one dick to ruin it, essentially. You know?
Yeah.
It's one bad apple ruins the perfectly good orchard for everyone who's picking from it, and it's unfortunately
Yeah.
that's the kind of energy that I'm assuming everyone in the music industry is trying to wean out. Not that we don't want we don't not want you to support us, but just don't be it.
Well, then, but it becomes that self-fulfilling cycle too, though, where it's like you give you can't see me using air quotes if you're listening, but kids, if you give them somewhere to go, they don't do crap.
They don't
like
do
that.
crime,
And then
exactly.
if they do crap like that at a show,
I grew up in a community that was very self-policing. Like, we knock the crap out of each other in the mosh pit, but somebody
that kid
loses,
up,
but you support each other.
somebody
Yeah, you
loses
help
a
each
shoe,
other.
somebody falls on their back. There's a sea of hands reaching down to pick them
Literally,
up because that's how the hell that works.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
and you let that aggression out in that way with each other safely. You don't go and destroy the place, and that's kind of gone by the wayside. With as we were talking about the short attention span of like, oh, I don't like this band. I'm gonna go outside and drink. Oh, I'm drunk.
And now I'm drunk. I'm gonna be destructive because I'm
Right,
angry at this.
and
band.
And now I don't care about the show, I don't care about this venue.
And then those all go away,
Exactly.
and then there
Do you
isn't
think
even
it's-
those steps. They just go right to drunk and mad because there's no show to go to.
Yeah, well, see, and that's huge. Do you think there's a way that we can revive that culture? Or do you think it's gone forever? Why do you think disrupted in the
we
first
need to
place?
have more all ages shows.
No, yeah, the 9 straight
Yeah.
plus all the time. Like it's really frustrating to say to somebody, "Oh yeah, come to the show. When does it start? 7 p.m. Cool. I work till 8.
Yeah.
Hour from downtown. All right. What,
Okay,
is it 19 plus? Yeah. Oh, okay. So like the 4 friends that I actually hang out with downtown can't come. So,
Yeah.
Like, and it's
Yeah.
it's awesome that there are all these bars that'll still have live music. It's
Yeah.
just very frustrating that within legislation
They
there are
can't have
bars
19
and
plus,
it
yeah.
must be 19
I
plus.
gotta-
And
I gotta-
please God, don't stop having shows at your bar. Oh my God, don't take it as that. But like, find a space. Like Sneaks had
To do
all ages
19.
shows forever. Like
Our show
Yeah.
on May 14th.
It's all
Our show
ages.
on May 14th is all ages. So if
Yeah.
you have a little brother or little sister who
Bring
is into
them,
this kind of
please.
music, who you're trying to show
Yeah.
all the old bands that like we grew up and loved, and
Yeah.
like they're
Right.
starting to show interest. Bring them out. I'm bringing my niece is coming to her first show and getting her first
Well, like,
pair of X's
yeah.
on her
Yeah.
hand,
Yeah.
and I'm like so excited, like
And that's a big
to show
that's
her
a real
that.
thing. Like that's a real thing though. Like that's that's
Families.
why I am who I am. That's why this seems like a good idea to me. Because like I went when I was 10 or 12. Like honestly, no. If anyone knows what Drafting Elvis is, the band. If you're listening and you're in that band, I love you. Thank you, because you were the band at the local show that made me want to do this. But that was those shows. You go, those guys are rock stars. I want to be them. These
be like
people.
them.
I wanna be
There's
those
people
guys,
that I don't
yeah.
even know what town they're from. I don't even know their names, but I recognize them from shows. It's like, oh,
They show up.
you're pink skirt, black mohawk dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
I
oh,
don't know your
cool.
name.
I think,
Yeah,
I think I was
hit
like
you
in my
across
town.
Town's bar like last year. What's up, man? Oh, your buddy broke my jaw by accident at that other show. You know what I mean?
But it was a
yeah.
good
He
pit.
punched my sunglasses off
Yeah,
my face
like-
in that pit that one
Man.
time.
So
high five.
That actually happened.
So a good venue that I found actually very recently, again, London scene kind of emerging as you said, was the Rec Room. You know,
Amazing.
London just kind of took in, you know, they built a Rec Room late last year and they've opened it up and they have the all age shows where there's MIA bands and bands from out of town coming and it's everyone can come. I've seen children there that are 5 years old, you know, and it's like, yeah, this is such an inclusive area because there is a bar if anybody wants to have a drink, but it's a family zone. You know, you're not going to get the drunken idiots that are being
Well,
the
and if you
destructive
do,
type.
you have enough of that presence in the community
To
to be able to
don't
take them
be
aside. There
escorted.
are those adults present who say,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yes.
man,
You're being-
not the time or place."
Yeah,
Like,
not
and
the
you
time
don't
to
have
spin
to
kick
get
a
in.
child.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, there was actually a really cool chat.
What is
The
How
pit-
much of a douche is the kid though?
The pit
I want
is
a cut.
dangerous.
I want a cut of just not the time
Just the
to
kid.
spin kick a
Kid,
child.
kid. One of the things I was going to say to Devin here is that one of those venues when we were from Chatham was the KBD Hall. You know,
Yeah.
like that was an all-inclusive hall that was kind of like a.
You mentioned the Kinsman. It was kind of like a bigger one of those, like just
Yeah.
like a you could get like just a gymnasium, let's call it.
You get
Yeah,
a
yeah.
soda and you can watch live bands play, and it's just the community coming out as a whole.
Dude, that's so good, man. I love
It was a
that.
gathering place of misfits, like punk shows. It was always people who didn't
Yeah,
have a clique or
exactly.
did, but they were kind of like at my school they were the darkness. You know what
And
I mean?
that's-
Like it was
and-
that there was all the different name, but like then you
Yeah.
look around, it's like we're the majority here.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you
right
work.
on.
We worked
Everyone's
with
got highlighter and black nail polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we're a little
like,
square.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
me. Literally, at Smoker's Corner, someone got suspended because they drew a circle that said "the darkness" and like tried to force the like quote. I'm sorry, you know you can't see me using my overused air quotes, but like the goth girls into the circle. And they're like, this is wrong on so many levels. Like, no, I'm not gonna stand in your chalk circle. Like, no, we're not gonna get into what that is.
But you met
Yeah.
some of the best friends in those places too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
so many people that I still talk to now from those halls, grade 9, you know, grade
Yeah.
8, when we were just enjoying the music, being weird.
Well, there's
Being
people
weird,
that-
having cuddle puddles. I remember
Yeah.
in
Cuddle
the square.
puddles.
Yo, cuddle puddles. And one time we filmed. Do you remember Harry Potter Puppet Pals?
I know. I never was a Harry Potter guys. I'm sorry.
I can't say.
Bro, like
No,
I do.
Are we going there? Oh,
Yeah.
Yo, we filmed the whole version of Harry Potter Puppet Pals.
Hey, I
Like a
think
live version.
I think we might need to go to another break here soon. Just because we are taking a while, we're talking a lot, and we're not really getting any music. You know, we're still
Good
getting.
tunes, man.
We're being told we're good. We're being told we're good. So
It's all good.
we got
What does prep for a show mean to you? You guys said before, you were like, yo, our setup, our teardown is ridiculously fast. It sounds like you're super prepared. Beyond just knowing your parts, which you told me you learned 3 times for every song. So AJ says, like, I learned the song for vocals, I learned the bass, and then I learned them together, which, by the way, is really hard. But beyond that, which is huge, what else is prep for your shows specifically? Like, what are you doing for, the Hard Luck Bar?
For this show,
This one's gonna be interesting because it's the first time we're
The
gonna be
lights.
With the
using
lights, man.
Yeah.
the light rig.
It's a debut.
We have very much whatever, you have your 15-minute window. What are you doing in the first 5 minutes? What are you doing in the second 5 minutes, sort of thing. So
What are you doing
everything,
in the hour leading up to it too? Like,
Yeah.
you already have
The
that
building
ready to
of
plug
the
and play
rig.
because you should.
because the way we kind of built as much of the rigs as possible is build it off stage, and you lift it up, you put it on stage, you plug it in, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
There's no fiddling with stuff. Sure, you gotta twist a bolt or two here and there. That's
But
fine.
you do that over there.
But that's
Yes.
the thing. You wanna build everything off stage, throw it on stage real quick.
It sounds almost like a common courtesy kind of prep.
I was saying, other bands gotta appreciate that well because you're not taking up their performance time by like,
That's
sorry
it.
guys, we're trying to tear down this drum set. We're gonna need 20
Well,
minutes.
you
'cause-
you
yeah.
hit on, you can tell the difference between a band of, when they're cognizant of, oh, my guitar's really loud, I can't hear my vocalist. A good guitarist turns down and
Turns it
serves
down.
the song.
Huge.
Sits in his frequency,
Oh
sits in
my
his decibels.
gosh,
That's where you want to be.
huge.
It's the same thing when you're vocal support for a big band. Like Secrets is coming through on a 10-year anniversary of an EP that is more popular than anything I've ever released. I have no business taking up any more time than I have been allowed on the stage that they have given us to share with them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we bring our gear on, we set our gear up, we play with our gear, we take it off stage, and we take it down. That's what we do. You don't spend the time getting it absolutely perfect and wrapping each thing because
No.
you look like an asshole.
You look
You do
like a
because
dick,
you look
yeah.
you look like you feel entitled to their time. more
And
than they
these
are.
subtle nuances, I bet, would also get you more shows too,
They do.
because you're like, whoa, they were so easy to play with. I would love to have them back on sometime.
See, they were so quick.
And
they
that's
set
the
up
thing is,
teardown.
like, we show up with a hell of a lot of gear, and when it's our first time with a promoter, they get so
They're looking at us
nervous. They're like, whoa, you're using all this? Yes.
And
How
that's-
long is this gonna take? 6 to 11 minutes if you get out of my way.
Just
6
like
to
that.
11 minutes
Yeah.
without interruption, kind of
Don't-
thing. And
don't-
if
If you're
Don't
asking
don't
me a
take
lot
that.
of questions,
If,
it's
yeah,
gonna
if
be
you
a
stop
lot
me along the
longer.
way, exactly. Yeah,
You
the
figure
longer
out. Sorry, go ahead.
it is like just straight up. It'll take longer if we keep talking about it.
And you
is what I
figure
said
out
a
really
bunch of
quickly how to
times.
say very nicely when someone asks, "How can we help?" Just
Stay out of our way.
Yeah.
Just let us do it.
Yeah.
Give me
If
a
I needed
stage.
help, I would have asked.
You have a
Our
method to our
goal
madness.
is to not be in your way, is
Yeah.
to not take up time. And that's what you're saying. What sets us apart is like we'll go to those promoters first time. Hey, listen, like here's a stage plot. I know it looks scary.
It's okay.
Don't panic. Don't panic. Everything's fine. But like you said, what did you tested trying to set up the light rig on your own 47 seconds or something and plug the
Oh,
boxes in
yeah,
across the front or something silly, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we try to big crew it because it's almost just a fun challenge at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I can get my ATA on, my bass tuned, and my in-ears leveled in 3.5 minutes. What have you done today?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like when, especially too, seeing the look on like their faces when we're done.
Yeah.
And like after just
So
seeing
when are you
like,
guys getting off stage?
we're done.
You want some help loading?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
over in the corner there.
self-satisfying.
It is, man.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And I think that was the biggest thing. Like, I wasn't the original drummer of Words Like Wildfire. And when I had heard the sound, like, sounded amazing, and I met the guys, and then we played our first show, and seeing how they were, even back then, it was what, almost 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost exactly, actually.
So basically, seeing how fast they were, that was something that I had that was something that a band that I was with before had been very brutal about and not very fun about. Like, they weren't down to help you. They were just like, get it done, and we're not your bros, we're not your team. Just get
You
it
do
done.
you, I do me.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And
And
that
it
doesn't
really
make it work. though.
it
This
did,
is how
and it
they-
did
other's
work.
win.
Yeah.
And it really didn't.
Yeah,
And
but I
it
say
really didn't work.
frustration, you
So,
end up just getting like, you're not helping each other. How are we
Exactly.
going to make this
and then
work?
it's,
if
and
we're
then
not-
it's not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Straight
It's
up,
a
like,
chore.
if-
I'll never try to, but I know how to set up your rig, and I know how to set up our monitors
Yeah.
if I don't. You know what I mean? So it's like if someone
Worst case
is
scenario.
doing something breaks, he's got to go find someone. It's like, okay,
I
don't
can do
worry
this.
about it. I know how this is rooted. Boom, 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 and he can sit down and worry about whatever, and sit down. Okay, this is cool. Fine tune things. Awesome.
Hey, thanks, man.
Hey,
You know,
thanks,
it's
bro.
like,
Like,
exactly.
but it's nice too when it's like, I get caught up talking to a promoter because we do. We trade off those responsibilities. Like, I'll take that stage manager role. I'll take that live. Okay, I'll take point one because I have that production manager experience. experience. So like, hey, you talk to me. How many through the door? What do we do? Where do we
Love
set
it.
up merch?
That's
Like,
huge.
Yeah, because they come to me as the
This.
drummer, asking about like the lights and the backing
That's
tracks,
what
and I'm like,
they
dude,
never work
do you
together.
realize
Not
I'm
my
doing
thing.
all of
Yeah.
this, right?
I mean,
Like,
these things.
so I basically I look at this sound guy and I say Ian,
Yeah.
and I point to
Well,
him
yeah.
because he deals with the
You do
back
the-
of that
he's
box.
the guy that
And
answers the
And
questions.
it's like, yeah, Ian, that guy. See, tall, long hair.
Like
Yeah.
Avery's got a whole drum set to do
He's
as
got an
well.
hour of work to do when we show up.
As well as now a couple of lights that he needs to plug in. So he was like, "Yo, Ian, I'm really busy with A, B, and C. Can we maybe make the sample rig a you thing?" And I'm like, "For sure, yeah. Pick up a box, throw it on stage, but it's just one less thing Avery has to
He
deal
has
with
to deal with,
because
yeah.
he's already dealing with the whole,
It's huge,
whole
man.
drum
This
kit.
is
This
so
is
much.
this is my first actual touring band as a drummer.
Yeah.
Like I played guitar for 10 years before switching over to drums. So like that's a huge change because like the amount of
It's
gear.
a lot more.
Oh my
It's a
god.
lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's
Yeah.
so much
It's
more
like
like
10 times more and more.
Yeah,
Here's
exactly.
a case and a guitar amp, and then
but
versus
it
here's
helps.
15
It honestly
cases,
helps a
like
little bit more because
poles,
with
yeah.
guitar, like you set up and like you need electricity and power and light, and you kind of
Yeah.
don't fully know if your stuff's gonna work until you right get there. Like at any given time, even though we try to do as much as possible to like safeguard from that.
I'm still pleasantly surprised when I see my power conditioner turn on.
Oh,
every
yeah.
every single time you're like,
Like when you plug it in,
thank
you're
God,
like,
okay,
oh,
good.
come on, orange, come on.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
It didn't-
Roll the
it-
theoretical
But it's
dice
drums,
in
like
your
I
head,
can
like,
see it
oh.
all, I can hear it all. It's kind of right there. I just added
magic
lights
smoke
to
and
my
that's
drums.
good.
Like
Monitor
I
and
luckily was able to drill. Like I had a hole already drilled in my kick, so I fastened the light in there. So there's one in there, then two on the stands now.
I love that.
So like yeah, that's all lit up now. So I'm stoked to set that up. But yeah, it's a huge difference. So.
Well, even speaking to the speediness of our setup, we didn't just throw lights on the stage. They're all attached to something that's already going to be put on the stage, sort of thing. So there's no extra stuff. That we have a T-bar, but that's
It all has a place.
I love that it's set up. I love that
Absolutely.
it's set up. I'm cutting it there.
You gotta cut it.
I have a story to come back to when we come back. Check us out at DriveWire. This is Words Like Wildfire. It's been sick.
Yeah.
Catch us out with some songs, brother.
Some lights is on fire.
Woo.
See ya.